بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد سيد الخلق أجمعين. اللهم ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وارحمنا واهدنا واهد بنا وعافنا يا ربنا وارزقنا وبارك لنا اللهم فيما أعطيتنا وارحمنا وأنت الرحمن وأنت الرحيم. Inshallah, we continue on today with Surah Al-Naml, the ayah number 44, inshallah. As we continue with the story of Sulaiman alayhi salam. Sulaiman alayhi salam was looking up, and to sum up the whole story, the hudhud, the bird, went out of his way. He found a bunch of people that they have a specific description. He told Sulaiman alayhi salam what they look like, what they've done. The descriptions of these people, he says that there's a woman that rules them. وَأُوتِيَتْ مِنْ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. It's been given from everything. And she has she has arshun azim. So the description that he has given, a woman rules them. They worship other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's the main issue. And they were given from everything. So they have for all the ni'mah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them. And she has a huge arsh. So he sent the hudhud, he sent the letter to them. After an altercation went back and forth, they headed back to see Sulaiman after he ordered them to come back to Sulaiman in a state of submission. Before they arrived, he asked some of the people some of the creatures that were there in his presence to bring the throne to him, for her to see her throne, but kind of a little bit deviated, a little bit not clear what it is. We look at the tafsir, it's called disguised. So disguised is not exactly how it is. They made a few changes here and there on it to look different. She passed by the arsh and they asked her, they said, "Is that your arsh?" After the jinn brought him the arsh, he was sitting there. She passed by it and they asked her, "Is that your arsh?" She said, كَأَنَّهُ. It's not exactly it. So she did not really recognize it. And what made her not to recognize it is the fact that the ayah number 43, وَصَدَّهَا مَا كَانَتْ تَعْبُدُ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ إِنَّهَا كَانَتْ مِن قَوْمٍ كَافِرِينَ. What stopped her what pushed her back from recognizing it or admitting it, is the fact that she is from people who worship other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and she was from Qawm Kafirin. So her background, the one stopped her from recognizing of the arsh of exactly what it is. I want to go back to this inshallah, but let's continue on with the next ayah. And that was the decisive ayah to bring her into Islam, into Iman. قِيلَ لَهَا ادخلي العرش ادخلي الصرح. I'm sorry. ادخلي الصرح. She was told ادخلي الصرح. فلما رأته, when she saw it, حسبته لجة. She thought, when she saw the sarh, she thought it was water. It was actually water. وكشفت عن ساقيها. She exposed part of her legs for her to walk, because she thought she was going to step into a pond of water. قال, Sulaiman alayhi salam told her, he says, قال إنه صرح. It is sarh. I want to go back to this word also, but I want to put you in the picture. قال إنه صرح ممرد من قوارير. He said that it is sarh. It is mumarrad. We use the word mumarrad as to, it is from the word amrad, the word marid. Amrad means that it's smooth, there's nothing on it, there's absolutely no impurities on it. As we say something we say, as Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam described mankind or people when they enter the Jannah, we all amrad, we'll all have no hair on us. We'll be like clean and so pure and smooth with what we have. قال إنه صرح ممرد. It is made and smooth, made out of qawarir. Qawarir means a, basically is glass, zujaj. But it's called qawarir because you see something settles on the bottom of it. You see with the bottle of glass or the glass itself, you see what goes on at the bottom of it. That's called aqarra min aqarar, the bottom. And from you see qawarir, from glass. So he told her this is made, from from smooth glass, right? From smooth glass. When she saw that, قالت رب إني ظلمت نفسي وأسلمت مع سليمان لله رب العالمين. So, what is the sarh? What was she told to do? قيل, and notice here, the same قيل, she was told. She was told in ayah 92, is the qeel that she was told, is this how your arsh? Even though they changed her arsh, but she did not recognize it. قالت كأنه, it's like it is. She did not recognize it, right? كأنه هو, and what stopped her from recognizing it, whatever the situation she was in because of her people. Now, she was called again, قيل, she was told again to do something different at this time. قيل لها ادخل الصرح. What is صرح? صرح comes in from the word صريح. صريح means 100% direct, no ambiguity, 100% clear, the purpose of it. Like I would say, أريد أن أتكلم معك بصراحة. بصراحة, I want to talk to you with صراحة. As to, I want to tell you exactly how it is. I want to speak to you from my heart. I want to tell you exactly how things are. And when we say, like, for instance, as an example, the unknown soldier, the mausoleum or the place of the symbol of the unknown soldier, we call it al-sarh al-jundi al-majhul, sarh. It is a clear way that it is the place of what the unknown soldier, what he has done in his life. It's called sarh. So, and also some people said the sarh is a place that clarifies things from, makes it clear. There's no ambiguity about it. There's no unclarity about it. Everything is clear in it. So, what is this building? What is this place? It's called sarh. Sarh, that when she stepped inside of it, she thought, obviously, the very first place to look at is on the ground. And what did she see? She thought it was actually water on the ground. حسبته لجة. She thought it was lujja. Lujja is a place that you submerge yourself in, is a submerged place, as to there's a layer of water, there's a pot of water. وكشفت عن ساقيها. And why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explain to us how she exposed her legs? Because she was not looking up. She was looking down, and she thought from the clarity of the place that she's in, she thought it was water. It was water on the ground. She exposed her legs for her to walk inside the water like what we normally do as we roll up our pants or dress or whatever it is that we're wearing, right? Sulaiman alayhi salam, he told her, he says, you don't have to do that. This sarh, this building that clarifies things, tells you exactly how things is. It is manufactured, is made out of smooth glass, mumarrad. Mumarrad means qawarir. And we know, obviously, we know the word qawarir was mentioned twice, right next to each other in two different ayahs in Surah Al-Insan. ويسقون بكأس من قوارير من فضة. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clarified in the surah, qawarir, they are given water from qawarir. It's given water with a glass from glasses made out of a glass. It is glass, but it's actually from silver. It looks like glass, but it's actually silver, as a clarification for qawarir. So she entered the building. She was looking down. She thought it was water. What does the water look like when you step on it? The water moves. There is clarity in it. There's something in it that is so, how we say, transparent. It shows you how things are inside of it. When she thought it was water, she exposed her legs to step into the water. He told her, "You don't have to. This is a building made out of smooth glass." Smooth glass. Now, smooth glass, if let's say if we don't have light inside this building, that it is the one that clarifies things inside that place, that's called sarh, inside that, whatever it is, the place. When she steps inside of it, there's no light. There's no way for her to recognize this glass or something else. So obviously there is light. And obviously we know the light is coming from. It's light coming in from outside. Now, if the light is coming in from outside, and it is a building made out of smooth glass, she could see on the ground something that is kind of moving, it's kind of doing the work or have the description of glass. So what was she looking at? Was she looking at the reflection of the sun above her that went through the building, because the building made out of glass, went through this building from the certain portion of it, the upper side or the sides of it. She actually recognized when she saw it, she thought it was water, but actually she saw the light of the sun that she was worshiping before, but she saw it in a different way. When she looked at it, it was disguised to her exactly how her arsh was disguised, was hidden. When she looked at the arsh was arsh. There's no way about it. It's her arsh. Sulaiman alayhi salam, with the work of that ifrit, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted him the ability to bring the arsh all the way from Yemen to Palestine. But he changed a little bit in it. Nakaruhu. He did it and a little bit disguised. When she passed by it, they asked her, say, "Is this your arsh? Look at it carefully. Is this the arsh that you have?" And the tafsir say she denied it. And she was a smart woman, but she denied it. But actually the other tafsir means is that because of that little bit of disguise, whatever that Sulaiman alayhi salam intentionally did to this arsh, she did not see the truth that it is her arsh. It's hers. And what made her not to see that truth, it's her arsh, is because of her background, because of the fact that this ayah number 43, وَصَدَّهَا عَمَّا كَانَتْ تَعْبُدُ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ, what stopped her, what she used to worship other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِنَّهَا كَانَتْ مِن قَوْمِ كَافِرِينَ, she was from قوم كافرين, she was from people who have kufr. They hide the facts, they hide the deity, they hide the abilities and the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So she was not able to recognize the arsh after it changed a little bit. She did not have that ability, as the tafsir is. But when she entered the building, that building was sarh, to show her exactly how things are. A specific thing is the sun. She actually saw the sun. One of the tafsir, I want to go through this. The tafsir in Kathir says that she saw something amazing, something unbelievable, which was actually a building made out of glass, and such a great quality, such great attributes, something amazing. It actually did not even compare to everything she had before. And the Hudhud said that she was given from everything. She was given from everything across the board, everything. But she was not given anything like this. When she saw it, she thought, wow, that's amazing. And I believe in the God of, or the Rabb Mu Sulaiman, because he has done something that I don't even have. There's no way for me to have. That's one a good explanation, very nice explanation, right? SubhanAllah, when you are given everything, like, for instance, when the Sahara, the magicians or the sorcerers, they are doing their own sorcery, and they actually were able to deceive people to see their own ropes and sticks, to see it as snakes. But when they saw something better, something real, something amazing they cannot have, they cannot achieve, which is the cane of Musa alayhi salam, they submitted. Kharru sujjadas. They submitted because they knew this is the real deal. This is the real thing. That's a great. This is absolutely correct. But could be something else too. Something else too, and that kind of leading to it because of the other ayah and how it's connected. What she saw was the sun with no disguise in it. What she saw when she walked inside, because of the fact that this building made out of smooth glass. So she walked inside of it and she saw the sun exactly how it is. It's not to be worshipped. The sun is nothing but a fire that is actually burning fire. But actually, let's go a little bit further. What is this glass, smooth glass building is? Do we have smooth glass buildings today? Could it be maybe an observatory of some sort that has a huge lens on top of it or on the sides of it that reflects the sun inside? And when you look on the floor, it looks like moving water because of the flames, how it moves. It amplifies it, it clarifies it. It looks like moving water underneath. Is that what Sulaiman alayhi salam had? He actually had some form of observatory. And by the way, observatory is to observe things, to see it clearly, as in that meaning, right? So the sarh here, is it possible that he had the technology with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him from the work and the things that is not humanly possible? It's only achievable by the work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the work and the effort of the jinn, that they actually build an observatory for him with the glass on top of it. And when she walked inside that building, she looked on the ground, she saw something moving, looks like water from the clarity of how it is. But she actually looked up and she noticed, or she saw the clear thing about her God, about who is the sun she was worshiping before. She realized and she understood that this sun is not a God, is not to be worshipped. It is nothing but a fire manufactured or made or created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is Rabbu Sulaiman. You see the picture? The picture is clear. When she she was told to do two things. And according to the information, these two things is relied on what the Hudhud told Sulaiman. Sulaiman told him, again, I'm repeating the same thing again to make it clear. So the Hudhud told Sulaiman, he says, there's a woman rules them. They were given everything, and she has a huge arsh, and they worship the sun. Now, Sulaiman alayhi salam has to do something to convince her to change her ways. And he has the ability, he has the power to crush her and her people. And he addressed her with the most powerful way. He says, if you don't come to me right now, I will bring to you an army that will crush you, will take everything. And she realized that threat. That's why she sent the hadiyah, she sent the gift first to know what is going on. And then when he refused the gift or the hadiyah, she headed to him to meet him, to obey his orders, to come to him in state of submission. So when she showed up, he has to address her mind. He has to address her intellect. What is the thing he wanted to push her away from and put her close to? Away from worshiping the sun and put her close to deifying and knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what's stopping her from realizing that the sun is not to be worshipped is the fact that she is from people who worship other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are qawm kafirin, they cover things. So what he did, he played a trick on her. He did two things. Number one is that he gave her the arsh, her actual arsh, but he disguised it as she was fooled by the fact that she did not recognize it. She did not recognize her arsh at all. She said, no, this looks like it. She did not recognize the arsh at all because she had that previous way of thinking. The same thinking that made her not recognize the sun is not to be worshipped. The sun is nothing but a sun, nothing but a huge planet of fire. That's all what it is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who created it. Now, when she did not have the ability to recognize her own arsh, she definitely wouldn't have had the ability for her to recognize the sun as to it's not God himself, it's not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he told her, he said, go to the sarh. Now, let me show you what is this sun you are worshipping. What does it look like? What it is. When she walked inside of it, she was looking down. And she thought it was water because there's kind of movement like a blowy water on the bottom. She exposed her legs. He told her, no, you don't have to. This is actually a sarh. It is made out of glass, like a lens for you to recognize and see things. What is it you're going to see? Obviously, nothing but the sun itself. She saw the sun. And that's when she recognized that and this is the word here where she says, قالت رب إني ظلمت نفسي. She recognized it, she realized it. She says, Ya Allah, I have transgressed against myself. وأسلمت مع سليمان لله رب العالمين. And I submitted I submitted with Sulaiman, مع سليمان, with Sulaiman, لله رب العالمين, to Allah رب العالمين. What is the work of Sulaiman alayhi salam? The work of Da'iyah, the work of the Prophet. By the way, you notice that in the Quran, not a single time that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned Bani Israel, the Israelite, or the Jews, in any talk with Sulaiman alayhi salam. Not a single time, except that the fact that, in Surah Al-Baqarah, when they accused him of being following the jinn and being a sorcerer and on, something like that. So, but there's no address. He did not address them. He actually squashed them. He oppressed them. He would not even let them to do whatever they wanted to do. They followed him across the board with everything throughout, even though he is from Bani Israel. He is the son of David, Dawood, But the da'wah here, you notice the universality of the da'wah, how Sulaiman alayhi salam, overall, when he saw or he was told there is an ummah, there's a nation, there's people who worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he took it upon himself for him to do the best he can to address them, to bring them in, to reel them in, to bring them closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And by doing what? By addressing them with the best way they recognize how. He knew what their weak points. He knew what is wrong with them. How come they're not worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Why are they worshiping the sun? And he addressed them in the best way. He addressed them in a way that to counter back their ignorance as the not clarity in their vision. And he did it obviously with the arsh. And when he made a little bit of changes on it, if she recognized the arsh, she said, that is mine, she would have been a believer. But what stopped her from believing? The fact that she's a disbeliever in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As if she has ghishawa, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ghishawa like a something to cover her eyes, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described it in Surah Al-Baqarah. وعلى قلوبهم غشاوة. There is a curtain, there's a cover on their hearts. They're not going to believe. إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون. ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة. On their eyes there's غشاوة, there's a cover. The cover, that was the work of Sulaiman alayhi salam, is the work of every single Muslim, is to remove that ghishawa, to remove that cover from the eyes of the people, and to address them with the best way they recognize. If there are people of science, we address them with science. If people of poetry, we address them with poetry. If people of language, we address them with language. If people of whatever it is that they're good at, whatever they understand, whatever is the way they talk. If they're emotional, we talk with emotions. If they're logical, we talk with logic. If they're people of, let's say that they're like the superficial things, like Balqis, this queen was, we address her with the same way, with superficial things, that for us to talk the same level, the same language. And Sulaiman alayhi salam did this so well, and was able to expose her to the deen, to tell her about the deen, and she totally and completely believed And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after this effort of Sulaiman alayhi salam with the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, she was able to understand and remove that cover off her eyes because she saw things how really is in front of her. That is one example. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, in, telling us in Surah An-Naml, look at the hard work, look at the fitna, look at the intelligence, look at the intelligence of the ant. Look how the ant, what it did, what it said. Look what the hudhud went out of his way to do what he did for the service and the work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look at Sulaiman alayhi salam. Look what he did for him to make da'wah for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And on and on. Look at these examples of these people and look at the rewardful work, that rewardful or fruitful effort that eventually what it led to converting entire nation under the leadership of Balqis, as to she became a believer because of that effort. The question is, what is the Muslim Ummah today doing? What are we doing today? What are we doing to remove that cover off of the eyes of the disbelievers? The ones who believe in other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in any which shape. The ones who worship fire, the ones who worship, animals of any sort, the ones who worship, statues, the one who worship nothing at all. What do we do to counter back this ignorance and this not knowledge? Or even at all, do we actually devote any effort for ourselves to do this? Individually, like Sulaiman alayhi salam, or Sulaiman and his mala, and all the people of Sulaiman, how all that he recruited everybody in his mala for him to be able to convince Balqis and her people. And you notice that there's no ikrah, there's no force. Sulaiman alayhi salam did not march in there with swords and weapons and arms. He said, you got to believe, and if you don't believe, I'm going to chop everybody's head off, I'm going to throw you in fire, and on, and you guys are disbelievers. None of this. It's the opposite. The deen, the Islam, the submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to come from the heart. It has to be derived from logic, from mantiq, from the mind. And لا إكراه في الدين قد تبين الرشد من الغي. لا إكراه. There's no coercion in deen, in Islam, in deen, in any deen. Everything is clear. And if you want to follow the way, it's good for you. And if you don't, it's up to you. You only transgress against yourself. You only take away things away from yourself. You take away the Jannah. You take away the ridha and satisfaction from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Amazing story of the effort, collaborative effort between, all these creatures, one ant, one bird, one prophet, and one jinn that he worked, he did his thing to do, he tried to put in some effort into it. And one creature, we have no idea who he is. He has one qualification, that he's actually has knowledge from the Quran. He was able to bring the arsh to, from Yemen all the way to Palestine. And of course, the jinn who made the sarh and on, for them to do the work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But does it always bring in this, these results? This is the work of the prophets, always bringing results in the most beautiful way like this, like in a good way like this? Not always. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us another example. Look at this. This is ayah number 45. وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَى ثَمُودَ أَخَاهُمْ صَالِحًا. And we have sent to Thamud, the people of Thamud, their brother Salih. Their brother is that he was not one of them. He's actually from outside. He came to them, and he was preaching to them about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And of course, as we always know all the time, the message of the messengers, it is one message. The Sharia is different. The rules are a little bit different, but the message is one. And Allah, for you to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and nobody else. فَإِذَا هُمْ فَرِيقَانِ يَخْتَصِمُونَ. And the people of Thamud, who got divided into separate parts, they have يَخْتَصِمُونَ, they are quarreling, they are arguing amongst themselves. Some people went, they believed in what he's telling them, and some people didn't. They're two different groups. Exactly like the people of Quraysh. Exactly like, here today. Some people are believers, some people are not. Some people follow the message, some people don't follow the message, and on and on. And this ikhtisam, this way of fighting or arguing or quarreling about things, this is what brings the truth into life, into what we see today. This kind of conflict, what we see here on the face of this earth. So, Thamud, the people of Thamud, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent to them Salih alayhi salam. The message, أن يعبدوا الله, worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They divided into different groups. They're quarreling, they're fighting. Some with, some against. So, قال يا قوم لم تستعجلون بالسيئة قبل الحسنة. Oh my people, he said to them, قال, he said past tense, يا قوم, oh my people, لم تستعجلون, why are you rushing? استعجال من العجلة, خلق الإنسان من عجل. عجل, hurry, quickness. يستعجل, it means that he is spending effort to rush, to make it, to rush things, right? بالسيئة, bad. قبل الحسنة, before good. قبل is before the good. لولا, if you only تستغفرون الله, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. تستغفرون الله لعلكم ترحمون, maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, hopefully, حرف رجاء, لعلكم, maybe you will have rahmah, you will have ease in your decision, you will have ease in your lives, you have rahmah is casted upon you. What is the story here? Do you notice that every single prophet, every single messenger, when he comes to his people, he always tells them one out of two things. He tells them, follow me and you will be successful. You're going to have a great life. You're going to have a great, you're going to live your lives happy. You're going to live your lives in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala satisfied upon you here on the face of this earth. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you the Jannah and the life after. You're going to have dignity here and you're going to have a great eternal life after. You're going to have the place that you deserve here on the face of this earth, and you have a great place that you are promised in the Jannah and the life after. Or you don't follow me. You don't follow the ways of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You do evil deeds. You do bad things. What's going to happen is you're going to have a horrible life and a shame and disgrace here on the face of this earth, and you will end up in the hellfire in the life after. You'll end up being tormented. You'll end up being in a state of disgrace and shameful life, eternal shameful life forever. So when the prophet, especially like in the story here, when Salih alayhi salam told his people either this or that, what do they say? Oh, you're threatening us with a threat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from your Rabb. Bring it on. Let's see the threat. We don't believe you. And he's telling them, he says, why are you rushing the bad to bring it on, to bring to you the evil, the torment, the torture, al-adhab? Why do you want me to bring this to you? Why don't you tell me to bring something good, to bring the greatness, to bring the satisfaction, to bring the istighfar, to bring the rida of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on you? It's kind of like this. I always give you this example. One guy's neighbor, he parks in front of his house. So the guy comes out of his house. He's threatening the neighbor. He says, you know what? He says, if you ever park your car here again, I'm going to smash every glass in it. I'm going to slash the tires. I'm going to key it. I'm going to burn it. But if you park it across the street, I'm going to give you a nice prize. I will give you a nice gift. I will give you actually $1,000. So what is this man going to do? He could do one out of two things. Either he's going to say, you know what, I'm going to park my car across the street. Give me what you promise. Give me the $1,000. Give me the gift. Give me the good treatment. Give me this, that, whatever. Or stupidly, in a clear, stupid, and dumb way, he would say, you know what, I'm going to park it again tomorrow. Prove it to me that you're going to burn it. You're going to go ahead and break the glass. You're going to go ahead and slash the tires. You're going to destroy the car. And subhanAllah, Salih alayhi salam asked him, why are you rushing the bad before the good? Talk about the good first. If Abu Jahl, if Abu Lahab, if all these kuffar of Quraysh, Utbah ibn Rabi'ah, Shaybah ibn Rabi'ah, of all these Saladid, of all these people, they asked Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, they said, you know what? You're promising us something good. We're gonna follow you until you deliver your promise. Then let's see the good. But you know what they did? They went after the bad. They say, no way, you're lying to us, and we don't believe you. Bring it on. And subhanAllah, in the Battle of Badr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed them exactly the threat Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam threatened them with, and he told them what's going to happen to them. They all turned dead. They all turned into the hellfire from that point. But subhanAllah, why do we do this? And seriously, why do we do this? Why do we rush the bad before the good? Why? So, قالوا, they said to him, after he says, why are you rushing this? Why are you rushing the bad before the good? قالوا طيرنا بك وبمن معك. He says, we got طيرنا من التطير. Tatayur, as you talked about it, is that from the bird. The word is from the bird. As to they got superstitious, as they felt bad. They felt kind of that he's going to bring in evil upon them. They felt they did not feel good about what he's saying to them. They felt in the state of tasha'um, as to they don't feel, they don't believe in what he's saying. من التطير. Bika, with what you say. وَبِمَنْ مَعَكَ, you and the group are with you. So the evil part, and this is his nation got divided into separate parts. People with and people against. The people against, they're the ones who say, تَطَيَّرْنَا بِكَ. We have to tayyar with what you're saying to us. What are you, saying to us here? We don't believe in it, and this is, something that we don't get, does not bring anything good to us. You and with the people are with you. He answered them back. He says, قَالَ طَائِرُكُمْ مَعَكُمْ. As to the literal meaning is your bird is with you, the bird that you created, or your superstitions, or the evil thoughts that you have in your minds, or whatever things that you're talking about. It is طَائِرُكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. Your fate is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever that you're bringing in, whatever you're talking about is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. بَلْ أَنْتُمْ قَوْمٌ تُفْتَنُونَ. You are people in the state, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exposing you to fitna, to severe test in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A test that's going to melt the gold. He will test you with this. Either you're going to survive, or you will end up in demise and death and destruction afterwards if you don't follow or you don't succeed with that test. وَكَانَ فِي الْمَدِينَةِ. And in the Medina, where they were at, in that city, in the metropolis, in the place that they were at, تِسْعَةُ رَهْطٍ يُفْسِدُونَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. There were 9 different people that is making fasad, they're making mischief in the earth. They're the worst of the worst of them. And they make يفسدون في الأرض. There are 9. ولا يصلحون. They don't fix things. They're bad, they're evil, they are the source of all the evil amongst them. I'm going to go through this, inshallah. I'm going to go back to the explanation afterwards. قالوا تقاسموا بالله. They said to each other, so you swear, تقاسموا, as you swear by Allah. Subhanallah, they believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but they don't believe in Salih. So look at this. تقاسموا بالله. You swear by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look at this amazing way of thinking, لنبيتنه وأهله ثم لنقولن. We will نبيتنه وأهله. We will kill him and his أهل and his family. ثم لنقولن لوليه. And then we will say to wali, the people who are wali, as the people who are the head of his family, or the ones who are in charge, or the big ones, the leaders in his tribe or whatever who is they are. ما شهدنا مهلك أهله وإنا لصادقون. And we will swear to them next day that we never witnessed, we never saw his death and the death of his family, and we will swear that we tell the truth. So they are conspiring against Salih alayhi salam and his family, is that they will go by, they will kill him and his family, and next day they will deny it. They will say, we did not witness any of this, we have no idea who did it, we don't know what's going on, and we have no idea what's happening, right? And the story here is that with the Thamud, it's clear for us here that the people of Thamud, after this notion of half of the people believed in him and the other people did not believe, the other half did not believe. The disbelievers, they looked at him and they said, you know what, bring for us an ayah, bring for us a clear, proof. And he says, well, if I bring you a proof, would you believe? They said, absolutely. There's no questions asked. He says, well, how about if how about if I bring you the proof and you don't believe? He said, no way, we will believe. This is fine. You tell me what proof you want, and I'll provide you with that. They looked around. They thought it was the most difficult of all. They decided for them to, to ask ask Salih alayhi salam for him a camel, to naqa, right? So Thamud, the people of Thamud, they were persistent, or the majority of the kuffar, they persisted that, there's no way for him to be able to do this. But he took their oath that if, Salih alayhi salam took their oath from them that if he brings in this naqa, they will believe. What happened is that after they gave him the oath, Salih alayhi salam made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the shape of the rock changed, and the rock split, and a camel came out of it with a condition. The camel is that for it to drink the water one day, and they don't get to, when the camel get to drink the water, they will only drink the milk from this camel. And the day where they don't drink the milk, they are allowed to drink the water. So there's a rule comes with it. So subhanallah, what they did is that when they saw the camel, but he told them, he says, not to touch it, not to come near it, not to kill it. This is ayah from ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these 9 here, they conspired for them to go in there, for them to kill this camel, and for them to kill Salih alayhi salam and his people. And with all this makr, with all this deviation, with all this, they went completely off. And this is the ayah here. فَانظُرْ كَيْفَ, the ayah number 50 is وَمَكَرُوا مَكْرًا وَمَكَرْنَا مَكْرًا وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. And they made makr. They established a lot of makr. And we did makr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, we did makr as the royal we. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made makr. وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. We did our makr when they don't feel it. What is the makr here? The makr is tadbir. A work is hidden away from the surface. You don't get to see it. As form of hidden tadbir. That's all what it is. I would say ثعلب ومكار, a fox that does makr, that it's actually digs a hole underground, like a tunnel. He goes from one direction to the other. You don't see what he's doing. All what you see is when he shows up. 1 second you see him in one direction, the other second you see him in the other direction. And you don't know what he did, how he did it. And this is called makr, right? Makr, unlike what we think, is not something bad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not commit or do something bad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here in this ayah says, وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرُوا مَكْرًا وَمَكَرْنَا مَكْرًا. We did makr and they did makr. And when the masdar, the source of the word, repeated after the fi'l, after the verb, is to emphasize the quality, or they makaru, they did makr. Makra is the source word, makra. They did makr as great, huge, a lot of it with great quality. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَكَرْنَا makra. And we did makra, and they don't know it, they don't feel it. وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. They don't feel it. فَانظُرْ كَيْفَ كَانَ عَاقِبَةُ مَكْرِهِمْ, the ayah number 51. Look at the end, or the end result. How did it turn out? Their makr. أَنَّا دَمَّرْنَاهُمْ. We made tadmir. دَمَّرَ يُدَمِّرْ. Destroyed completely, obliterated, completely abolished, completely removed. دمرنا وقومه أجمعين, and their qawm, all these kuffar, all these deniers, all the ones who are do not believe in Salih alayhi salam, and believing in the doing this great crime of slaughtering or killing the camel. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed them all. فَتِلْكَ بُيُوتُهُمْ خَاوِيَةٌ بِمَا ظَلَمُوا. And this is how, the ayah number 52, this is where their buyut, their homes, khawiyah. Khawi means empty. Khawiyatun ala urushiha. Khawiyatun, empty. There's nothing in it. With what? B, the ba sababiyya. Sabab, why? What is the reason? Bima zalamu, because of what they have transgressed. because of what they have done. إن في ذلك لآية. There's a sign, there's a signal. لقوم يعلمون. There's a signal for people who have ilm, they have knowledge. They have ways for them to, they know about this. This is a sign not to do what the people of Thamud have done, not to deny and not to reject. وأنجينا الذين آمنوا وكانوا يتقون. And we have saved the ones who believed. وكانوا يتقون. And they have taqwa. Compare here. Let's compare the story of Sulaiman alayhi salam. Sulaiman alayhi salam, he put the effort, he recognized what's going on. The Hudhud told him what's going on with the people of Balqis. He brought her in. He took the information about her. He made da'wah to her. He clarified it to her. What did she do? She believed. She believed. قالت آمنت بربي سليمان. I believe in the Rabb of Sulaiman. I believe in what he says, and says, وإني قالت ربي إني ظلمت نفسي. After I transgressed against myself, وآمنت وأسلمت مع سليمان لرب العالمين. They believe. She believed. The people of Salih, what happened? Similarly, he approached them to remove them from the state of kufr. And he addressed them in the logic they were dealing with. But unfortunately, their illogical behavior, where when he told them that they will face either demise and death and destruction, versus they're going to be rewarded for believing. What did they do? They said, no, bring on the torture, bring on the torment. But they wanted to do ta'jiz to him. He says, you know what? Show us a proof. When Balqis saw the proof, she believed. But the people of Salih did not believe. When he complied with them and he brought them to the camel, what did they do? They conspired against each other, with each other. They called upon the worst of them, the worst, criminals of all of them. And they got together. They went after the camel. They went after Salih alayhi salam. They wanted to kill him because they did not want to believe, and there's no way for them to believe. The effort similar between the work of the two and the argument as Salih alayhi salam approached the best argument for them to believe. They refused. And look what happened to them. Destruction, demise. And what is the reward? What happened to Balqis? She believed and she followed. And by the way, do we know what the reward of Balqis is? No, we don't know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at this point, after this word, وَأَسْلَمْتُ مَعَ سُلَيْمَانَ لِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ, and I submitted or I give Islam to Sulaiman, مَعَ Sulaiman, with Sulaiman to Rabb al-Alameen. We don't know what happened in details, but we can assume, or we have full knowledge over the consequences. Would it be she would have Jannat Firdaus because she's a believer and she followed the ways of Sulaiman. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here explaining to us what happened to these 9 and his people overall. وَلُوطًا, the ayah number 54. وَلُوط إِذْ قَالَ لِقَوْمِهِ أَتَأْتُونَ الْفَاحِشَةَ وَأَنْتُمْ تُبْصِرُونَ. Lut alayhi salam addressed these people. Lut, as we know, he is the nephew of Ibrahim alayhi salam. He made hijrah with very few people from the people of Ibrahim, the 12 nations mentioned in the Quran, the people of Ibrahim. Ibrahim alayhi salam left his family, left his people and supposed to be beyond the river in Iraq today. And he left them, but very few people have followed him. One of them was Lut alayhi salam. And Lut alayhi salam settled in the village, and we don't know the name. The name is not mentioned in the Quran, it's not mentioned in our deen. And some of the Mufassirin took it from the Israelites, they call it Sodom. Sodom, as we say, Sodom and Gomorrah, the two villages mentioned in the Old Testament, in this case. And some of the scholars took it as these names, but it's not mentioned in details. And we don't know what the name of those tribes. We don't know where they were. We don't know anything about them. The only thing is they were called the people of Lut. The people of Lut, Qawm Lut. That's it. Versus Thamud, we know their name. We know the name of the prophet. We know where the area they were in, the Hijr, the Ahqaf. We know exactly where they were at. This one is not known. We know why. Let's go ahead and talk about them. قال Lut alayhi salam came to his people and says, قال لقومه أتأتون الفاحشة وأنتم تبصرون. You are approaching the fahisha. The fahisha is a huge crime, a huge sin, usually of sexual nature. It's called fahisha, like zina, like homosexuality, like all these different things. It is prohibited in all the dayanat, in Christianity, in Judaism, in Islam, and all the dayanat, even communism, for Allah's sake, even the kuffar, they're not believers. They actually denounced it and they rejected it. Subhanallah. As to it defies the logic. So look what it says here. أتأتون الفاحشة. You are approaching the fahisha, this crime. وأنتم تبصرون, and you are watching and you are seeing. What does the basar have to do with this? You see the consequences of it. You see that is something that is terrible, horrible. It's not good. Not the result of it, not through it, or not after it. It actually will brings in a lot of damage, a lot of harm, will bring destruction, will bring death. And you're seeing this, you're bringing the fahisha, and you know what's doing to you. You know what is causing, you know what is doing to all of you. أَإِنَّكُمْ لَتَأْتُونَ الرِّجَالَ شَهْوَةً مِّن دُونِ النِّسَاءِ. Are you, for you, or you are ta'tun, man ata yati, is that you're approaching, you're coming to. Men, shahwa, as desire, shahawat, desire. Min duni nisa, below women, below the level of women, other than women. Bal tanqudu ma qawlaha. It's not just that. Actually, innakum qawmun tajhalun. You are people in state of jahl. You are state of ignorance. How could you possibly approach men with desire other than women? Women to be approached with desire, not men. And you guys reversed it, you guys changed it. You are so ignorant, you don't even realize what is good for you, what is meant for you to be done, how is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created it to be. You are switching the facts about things, you're switching how desire is being dealt with like this. تجهلون. The ayah number 56. فَمَا كَانَ جَوَابَ قَوْمِهِ. There was no answer from his people. Jawab, ijaba. إلا, except for them to say, قالوا أخرجوا آل لوط من قريتكم. Get the people of Lut, the family of Lut, Al. Al, as we talk about, Al, the scholars have differed on this, and there's a big discussion about this. How Sibawayh said and Kisai said, and the two schools of Arabic language, one of the Kufa and one of the Basra. Each one of them is different. One of them said that it is Al means Ahl, is actually means shortened. Al from Ahl, originally Ahl is the people of Lut. And the other meaning means Alullah, Al, somebody is the one ya'uluna ilay, the one who belong to. And we know this word really well because Salawat al-Ibrahimiyya. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad, Sayyidina Muhammad, kama sallayta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Sayyidina Ibrahim. Al. So is it short for family, or it is means that it is whoever belongs to him, whoever follows his path to the, as we talk about it here. أخرجوا آل لوط. And this is more clearer way as to anybody who belongs to Lut and his ways of thinking and the ways of doing things, from his family or otherwise. أخرجوهم, kick them out. من قريتكم, from your قرية, from your قريتكم, from your village or your place. Why? إنهم إناس يتطهرون. They are people making tatahhur. They are people who sanctify themselves and they cleanse themselves. They clean themselves. So what is their crime? Why would they be kicked out of the country? Why would they be kicked out? What is the thing that causes the anger and the animosity against them? Is because they cleanse themselves, because they are clean, because they are approaching this, is that whatever mistakes they make tatahur from it. They are bringing themselves into the state of cleanliness overall. SubhanAllah, look how things switch around. Usually the opposite. Who get punished? The ones who commits najasa, is the one who commit a crime. Here is because they're doing good. Because يتطهرون, kick them out. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in ayah number 57, فَأَنْجَيْنَاهُ وَأَهْلَهُ, we have saved him and his ahl and his family. إِلَّا امْرَأَتَهُ, except his wife. قَدَّرْنَاهَا, we made qadar for her. We made her destiny as to مِنَ الْغَابِرِينَ, from the ones who in state of death and demise and destruction, non-existence. وَأَمْطَرْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ مَطَرًا, and we have dropped matar upon them. Matar means that, as I always tell you, in the Quran, you could use one out of two words. غَيْث means good rain, beneficial rain, or matar means a rain or something comes in from the sky, but it's something destructive and something kind of causes demise and death. وَأَمْطَرْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ مَطَرًا, we brought upon them matar, as we say, when the source is mentioned after the verb, it means from the, to increase or to give the quality and the quantity of it. فَسَاءَ مَطَرُ الْمُنذَرِينَ, وَسَاءَ, how bad was the rain, what was brought upon the mundareen, the ones who were warned before. The same thing as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the people of Lut alayhi salam, the same warning as the effort of Lut alayhi salam to explain to them, to show them, but they refused, they denied, and they become belligerent and aggressive against them. They said, kick him out, kick him and his family, anybody who follows his path out. Their crime is because they do good, they cleanse themselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed them and kept the good, the good doers from the people of Lut alayhi salam and his family alive and well, and everybody got destroyed, got to be removed off the face of this earth. Inshallah, we're going to stop here. We will continue on next week. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and bless your hearts and bless your minds. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase your iman and makes you, inshallah, better believers. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen our ways and get us closer to our deen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teach us more of the ways of the Quran and grant us, inshallah, Jannat al-Firdaus, inshallah, for all of us.